Will this figure be a blemish on the Predator line? Today we're taking a look at Hiya Toys Exquisite Mini Alien vs. Predator Unmasked Scar. Welcome back. Before we take a look at the Unmasked Scar Predator and all he brings, my question for you down in the comments is, where do you tend to buy your action figures? Most of mine are bought online. I try to shop local when I can, but the local comic book store doesn't always get stuff in. Usually I go order from Big Bad Toy Store, although I have ordered quite a few figures from Hiya themselves. They're really quick, and they tend to get them in a lot quicker than Big Bad Toy Store. But let me know where you get yours. So, nothing we haven't seen before in packaging. Nice picture of the figure there. We'll be taking a look at that up closer in just a second. Moving around the back, more pictures of the figure. So let's get him out and see how he looks. Before we take a closer look at the accessories and the figure itself, we'll go ahead and measure him up. We see that he stands 4 3/4 inches tall, like the other figures in the line. For accessories, we get the same things we get with most of the AVP Predators. We get our Hiya Toys base here with the peg hole. Using these 2 brackets here, just slot them into any of these little slots on the side, and you can connect it to another Hiya Toys base. Very handy. You get a open left hand, a loose grip or maybe a relaxed right hand. You get the fully extended blade weapon here. Again, it would be nice to have the collapsed version, but no luck. And you get both spears, the collapsed and the extended version. Nicely painted. Really like the spearheads on them. Good looking spear. And like with all the other ones, you get the knife in the boot here. There we go. Like with all the others, lots of blades. So looking at the figure itself, this figure is very similar to the masked version that I already reviewed, just a different head. And let's talk about the head. The sculpt is good. We've seen this open mouth look a lot. I would have preferred a closed version of the mouth. There is a third version of the Scar Predator, the final battle version with battle damage and an alien tail that you can have sticking out of the chest there. It would have been nice if that had the open mouth and this had the closed one, just to give variety. The paintwork on the head itself is good. There's a lot of nice kind of detail on the freckling and stuff like that. The scar doesn't really look like a scar. It looks more like a birthmark or a tattoo or something like that. There just isn't any depth to it. I don't like the way it looks. It's disappointing. That's his distinctive feature. That's what he's named for, and it doesn't look good. The eyes are not badly painted at all. The people on his right there is a little off, but it's so tiny. Like, I can really only see it here on the camera. In person, it's not that good. Then we get down to the mouth. The mouth is absolutely horrible looking. I don't like it at all. It looks better on camera than it does in person. It looks like there's shading or something done there. I don't think that is shading. I think that's just they didn't put enough paint on there, and that's the underlying plastic color coming through. It just doesn't have any depth. The color looks a little too orange for my taste. It's like he had a popsicle. The teeth aren't well painted at all. There's nothing in the mouth. If you look up here, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you can see that the pink has actually extended to the top of the mandibles, where it hasn't on the other one, so it's sloppy. And that's not the way Hiya Toys ever does their stuff. So I don't know what happened with this figure, but it's really disappointing. You can see there's pink on the teeth there. There's no skin on the chin, it's pure mouth. If we bring in the box here, you can see that there's a lot more depth and color in that there. You can see that there's some of the chin, which you don't get here. Really disappointing. I bought this figure online. If I had seen it in person, I probably wouldn't have bought it. I have gotten into some miniature gaming, and I do want to start painting those up. I think if I get good enough painting those, I might go ahead and repaint this, because I don't like the way it looks anyway. I don't think I could really screw it up anymore, and maybe I'll be able to salvage it. But yeah, really disappointing paint job from Hiya Toys. The only paint job I've ever complained about with these figures. Too bad. But looking at the rest of the body is really well done. The paint job on it is very clean. Looks great, so I don't know. I don't know what happened with the head. We do get his loose necklace here, which is able to move around. All the armor, great color they use. Really makes it look metallic, picks it out well. Good variety of colors in the skin too here. His gauntlet does extend just a little bit, not a whole lot. Can go out. His loincloth piece here, these pieces are kind of a soft rubber, so they do allow some flexibility with articulation. You go down, his armored toes and everything. I like his armor. Really cool. Plasma caster, my favorite ones of the franchise here. I like all the different articulation that it has on it. You really get into a lot of poses. Unfortunately, his gauntlet computer doesn't open. It's just a static thing, but it looks good. He does have peg holes to use at the base. We go on to the back, we see more armor. Actually, looks like they didn't paint the fishnets on the back here, which I never noticed. Huh. Usually they do it all the way around. It's a little bit disappointing. You can see it's sculpted in there, but no paint on it. They cut some corners on this figure. That's where his knife goes there in his boot. We go up. Lots of hair. Flexible rubber, so again, doesn't hinder articulation. I like the gold color for his beads there. So overall, a really disappointing figure. It's such a shame, given that he is the main predator from the film and the only one that we see unmasked, that they blew it. Oh well, aside from the elder predator at the end of the film. It's too bad. I much prefer the masked version. Turning to articulation. The head has a decent amount of look-up ability. It's just the hair kind of pushes it back down. It does rotate. The hair will hit the plasma caster, but you can move it out of the way. And it's got a little bit of side to side. The arms have a really good range of movement. The armor is kind of floating, so it moves out of the way. You have rotation at the bicep. A double bend elbow. There's no rotation at the gauntlet or anything like that. The hands are on a ball peg, so you do get a little bit of rotation there. As far as the ab crunch goes, a little bit forward, not much back. You do get a little bit of side to side, but this strapping kind of prevents it from moving the way it could without it. No rotation at the waist. It doesn't feel like, maybe there's a tiny little bit. Again, the strap gets in the way. You can spread his legs an okay amount. Double bend knee, really good. The feet rotate, but there is no, oh, there is a little bit of hinge. Yeah, there is a hinge. Yeah, good movement for him. So limited by his armor, but not much you can do about that. The arms are fairly movable, and the legs are good, so you can get them in crouching poses and things like that. So overall, a very disappointing figure from Hiya Toys. The body and the accessories and everything are really well done, but you're buying this figure for the unmasked head sculpt, and the paintwork on it is just not good. The sculpt is fine, but the paint, just was super disappointing. Like I said, if I had seen this in person and didn't order it online, I would not have bought the figure. It's that disappointing. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you think it's okay, or are you gonna still get this figure, hope that maybe yours is better painted, or are you just gonna stick with the masked version? For me, I am gonna keep the figure, but like I said, might try repainting it if I can, and maybe help make the mouth look a little bit better. I have reviewed many Hiya Toys Alien and Predator figures, and I have many more to come, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see those. But for right now, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.